Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Paul McMahon with Forex Smart Trade. It is Tuesday, June 9th. Oops, hold on here. We're getting a little feedback. If you can, shut your mics off. Uh, uh, our goal is to help you become the best version of yourself, and we do that through currency trading, where we help you become financially independent. Teaching you how to trade with our patent pending proprietary indicators and our best in the business training. So with that, let's get going. This trade is for educational purposes only. All information is speculative and involves risk. This trade should be examined and taken from a personal evaluation. All attendees agree by watching that any trades he or she takes was of individual influence based on personal evaluation of the market. This webinar's intention is to demonstrate a method that can be used to help make an evaluation of the current market. No past, present, or future incomes have been made or relied upon prior to or during this meeting. So we don't need that guy anymore. Next, let us take a look. If you are not attending the other live trade events we have, you should be. Guys that we have doing these trades are experienced traders. We average 150 pips a week net on these trades. So as you are building your skill, take the free pips that we have and watch and copy. So if you are a light, there is a session this morning at 9:30, tomorrow morning at 9:30, again on Thursday at 10. Wednesday night there's a member meeting, and then Monday through Thursday every night at 10 Eastern there is the AIT where Brett is trading Australian pairs. Once you've moved into coaching, there is the Saturday morning back to basics with Troy. And then you have the MIT every morning at 10 a.m. and they have a different guy who does that. And on Wednesday evenings, instead of the late member meeting, there's an advanced member meeting. There is also the paid on it. At this time, I would not recommend it. They're actually looking at changing that time to 8 p.m. For a variety of reasons, which I'm not going to go into now. What else do we got? If you like the free trade sessions, you can be invited to an extra session, a Thursday tip-top referral trade every Thursday morning at 11:30 a.m. And to get invited to that, you just need to provide a referral who becomes a light. Very, very simple. So if you like it, share it, and good things will come back to you. All right. Trade routine. Where is my trade routine? Bring that over here. I work off of a trade routine. First step is to review yesterday's accomplishments or lack of accomplishments. In our case, we'll go back to last week. We took two trades last week. One was a 10-point trade, and the other was a thick orange line trade. I primarily in this session go through what has been shown to people during the introductory session or introductory training, which is the 10-point trade and the thick orange line trade. I primarily trade off of the 10-point trade is my trade plan. I look for opportunities with that signal, but we have a bunch of different signals. I happen to like that one. And as you see in my trading, I focus on for the most part, two specific currencies. Every once in a while, I'll dip in to try another currency, but generally I like the euro dollar and the pound dollar. Last week on the US Canadian dollar, we found a 10-point trade, which we took for, I don't know how many pips, went from 13 to 55, so that is I don't know, 13 to 24. So we took 11 pips on that. And then on the NZD USD, we found a thick orange line trade that we took for 5 pips. All right. Fundamental analysis. So what is going on in the news? As we are technical traders, we do not want to trade against news because we don't know how the news is going to impact the pair. So we want to see what potential news is going to come up. News is on forexfactory.com. There's a news feed. In that news feed, they rank news items into 3 categories: low expected impact, which is a yellow; medium impact, which is an orange; and red, which is high expected impact. So we generally scan looking for high expected impacts, and today there's nothing on the board. So we really don't have too much to worry about. At 10:30 Eastern time, there might be there's a medium impact on the pound. So none of that's going to impact us today. Then we start with our technical analysis. So with that, we will take a look. We'll start with a 10-point trade, and I have set up, and all of you should have a 6 major chart, which basically is 6 U.S. pairs: euro dollar, pound dollar, Australian dollar, dollar Swiss franc, dollar yen, dollar Canadian dollar, all on a 60-minute chart. I use that to start my analysis. On the 10-point trade, I start with the majors and minors, and basically I'm trying to find a situation where I am either oversold or overbought. And then if I'm oversold, I want the lines to be pointing upward and double crossed. If I'm overbought, I want them to be pointing downwards and be double crossed. So here I'm right in the middle of the channel with the euro dollar, and it's a little bit more than halfway, so I'm going to pass. Sometimes if it is under halfway, so even though it's entered the channel, I will still look at the trade. But in this case, we're more than halfway. When we get more than halfway, I don't know how much is left in the move, and I don't want to waste time with it. Now, one quick reminder is, as new traders, you only need to make 4 or 5 trades a day to be profitable and be very profitable. Once you've hit profitability, quit until tomorrow. You don't need to keep trading. Long ago, I learned I could trade 2 hours or I could trade 6 hours. And when I traded that 6 hours, I always had that one bad trade that ended up giving back all that I worked for in that extra 4 hours. To me, I prefer to work less than more. So once I get my pips, I'm done. I don't, I kind of keep an eye on the side, but I don't take a trade unless it's appears to me to be a slam dunk. So I make my take for the day, and then I call it a day. Pound dollar, we're oversold. I've got the minors going up, but the majors are going down, so nothing there. Australian US dollar, oversold. I've got everybody going up, and I've got a double cross, so I've got 3 points here. 1 for being oversold, 2 for everybody going up, 3 that I got the double cross. Only thing I don't quite like right off the bat, but is this isn't quite as steep as I would like. I'd like to see the majors a little steeper, these lines, but we got 3 points, so let's go up and take a look at our TNTs. On the TNTs, I want to count how many lines are going in the right direction. Both orange lines are going up, so that's 2 points there. Blue lines are inverted. Both blue lines are going down. So blue lines going down means up. So I've got 4 for here. So I've got 3 and 4. I've got 7 points. I also need a point from the pressure. Pressure is going down. I don't get a point there, but the green line is on top. I get a point for the green line on top. So with that, let us go, and I need more information now. So I've got 8 points here. Then my next question is how many pips is this trade worth? So to do that, let's open up the chart book. AUD USD is not there. So go to open AUD USD. Here he is. I'm going to open him up. Now, one thing what the heck? I'm not quite sure what's wrong with this, but this didn't load right. So what am I going to do? I'm going to close this guy for right now, and I'm not going to save him. And I'm going to take my one chart that is loaded correctly, and I'm going to go to chart settings, and I'm going to change the name of, I'm going to change the symbol on this chart. So I can just type in the symbol, or I can go to find and just go to AUD USD. I click OK. I have all of my charts linked. So if I click apply, it's going to change the label on all of the charts. And this one is loading up okay. And what I'm going to do is just resave it with the new name, AUD USD. The little D next to it is my way of telling that this is a daylight savings chart. It's got the right time. If you haven't checked, your time here should be 21. If it's at 22, you need to change it. So I right clicked, went to what is it? The chart settings, and I checked the clock. This should be 21:00:10. Both of them. So we've got everything here. I know I'm connected to the internet by this being green up in the top left corner. I know I'm current when this bottom right corner is green. I am going to open up. I want to know where my support and resistance is. So to see where my support and resistance is, I am going to crunch up the chart. And it doesn't look like in the last 3 months we've been up here. Let's move this out of the way, bring this down a little bit. Take a vertical line, and I am looking for spots where the price seems to have moved and then turned around. So right here it stopped, right here it stopped, right here it stopped. And on a 60-minute chart, these spots tend to be about 30 to 40 pips away from one another. So here's another one. Here, 66 to 10, that's a little much. Right in here. And let's see. Right in there. All right, so let's unchart him. So now I want to see how much room do I have up to the support line or the resistance line or down to the support line. So I'll take my little chart tool, grab him. I've got about 18 pips down, and I've got about 20 pips up. So I can go each way. Then I want to see what my trend is. We don't have much of a long trend. Today we were trading into a down market. Yesterday we were sideways for the most part. The day before we were sideways for the most part. So not much of a real trend here. Let's minimize this. So I've got 20 pips up or 20 pips down. So here's the signal, still good. On my 2-hour chart, everybody's pointing up. Pressure isn't aligned yet, but that's okay. I would expect the green line is starting to get closer to the red line. So in a couple hours, I would hope to see this, where there's a crossover. I've got 3 of the 4 on the 2-hour chart telling me it's a buy. On the 30-minute, everybody's going up through the channel. Green is on top. And on the 5-minute, I've got strong up pressure. I am overbought. So I like this trade for a 10 pip buy. And the reason I'm taking 10 is because even though we have 20 pips to that line, I don't have a clear that this isn't, we're trading against the trend essentially. Because right now, today, it's been going down. So we'll take 10 going up. To take 10 going up, I am going to go to open up my CoinEx chart. On my CoinEx chart, go to trade. I don't have, let's see if I have AUD USD open already. I don't, so I need to open that. I'm going to go to File, New Chart, and then I'm going to look for AUD USD, which is right here. If I didn't see him here, I would go into the other Forex group. If I didn't see him here, I would go into the other Forex group till I found him. But he is right here. I open up the chart. I am going to, I don't like this screen, so I've got different templates set up. I click New Order, which is on the second row. It pops open this box. First thing I'm going to check is to make sure the symbol is right. Then my volume. Volume of 10 is inappropriate for an account that's got $8,700 in it. This account is a demo account. To figure out what the appropriate lot size is, I'm going to move this decimal place over 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go ahead and take a 0.88 lot size. 0.88 lot size. I'm going to take a buy by the market. It records the trade under here. Order number, time, what I did, lot size, symbol, price, but it doesn't have a take profit or stop loss. I need to tell it what the take profit and stop loss is. I like to do it this way by right-clicking anywhere along that line, go to modify. It has 110 in there. 110 is 11 pips. That's okay. I've got 500, 5 times basically this as my stop loss. But the way I like to do my stop loss is let's go back to the chart. I like to be 2 support and resistances away. So here is one support line. Here is a second support line. I like to be under that second support line because I don't want to be taken out. So I'm going to go a little bit under it so I don't get a peek through. So I'm going to go to 0.68604. 68604. 2 support lines below. So 0.68604 is where I want to be. And there we go. So we will wait. We will wait and see what happens here. Let's keep going and see if we find another trade. We are actually within 10 minutes of the top of the hour. So let's see if we have a thick orange line trade. So we can demonstrate that. Thick orange line trade, rather than start with the majors and minors, I am going to start with the number that's associated with the thick orange line. And I am looking for this to be a 0 or minus 100. Right now, minus 21 is neither, minus 25 is neither, minus 15 is neither, 19 no, 21 no, 74 no. So I've got 3 groups of charts like this. These all have US dollar in them. So usually if one of them is a no, they're all a no. Well, let's go take a look at this next group. These are non-US dollar for the most part. Oops. Minus 22 no, minus 16 no, minus 76 no, minus 0. So here's part 1 of the signal, AUD NZD. 0, and it's been 0 actually 2 hours. Last hour and this hour. And when I have 0 here, then I look for the second part of the signal, which is I want all 4 lines to be touching or above the blue, and I have that. Both the red and the green, the majors, are well above the blue line, and the minors are just a little bit above. But it's the majors I care about. So I've got all 4 conditions, or I've got both conditions. So I like this trade. I am going to go ahead and take this trade too. So that was AUD NZD. AUD NZD, I do not have it opened. So I am going to go to File, New Chart, AUD NZD, I don't see it there. AUD NZD is here. I am going to, again, I don't like this screen, so I'm going to go to template. I've got a couple templates, and we will put a different template in. If you'll notice, my templates are different colors. That way I don't accidentally take a trade on the wrong thing. I always keep my Euro USD black. So we had a sell signal because we are at 0 and overbought. So I go to new order on the second row. AUD NZD, my symbol's okay, my volume is okay. Based on our risk management rules, I can have 2 open trades at 0.88. You'll see my margin level is 28.93. I want to try to keep this above 1,000. Keeping this above 1,000 lets me, if I get a bad trade, work out of it. So I am going to do a market sell. Records a new trade down below. I am going to right click anywhere along this line, go to modify. Here, the program does the math for me. So 5 pips equals 50 points. On here, we're going to just use a 4-to-1 ratio as our stop loss. So if I'm going for 50, I'm going to put 200. I click the red copy as button. It calculates, it puts the number in here for me. I click the blue button. It puts the number in here for me. On these small little trades, I like to make sure I get the full 5 pips. So if I'm at 0.0673, I'm going to go to 0.0668. 0668. So let's correct this guy. 0.0682. That gets me my full 5 pips. And there we go. Must have been a big spread here. See, we're giving a point away between the sell and the bid and the ask. There's over a pip, almost 2 pips we're giving away because of the spread. So anyways, it is what it is. Usually when you don't get those big spreads on like the euro dollar or pound dollar. So we took 2 trades today. A 10-point trade with the Australian US dollar, which is very close to closing, and a 5-point trade with the AUD NZD. Do we have any questions? Any questions? All right, gang. If no questions, we got 2 good trades. If you have any questions, just reach out to me or Phil or John, whoever you're working with, and we'll get you squared away. Okay, everybody. Thanks. Talk to you next week.